Hello and welcome back to the Euro 2020 analysis series. The match we're going to analyze today would be the round of 16 match between England and Germany. And the question we'd like to answer here is whether Gareth Southgate actually pulled off a masterclass or was it all a fluke. But before that, please help me grow this YouTube channel. Like, share, and subscribe. And if possible, do leave a comment as well. Thank you so much. Let's get into it. The question everybody was asking before the game was whether Southgate would adapt to a back three or whether he'd stick with his 4-3-3 which he had done in the group stage. And the answer to it was he went for the back three. It was to nullify the attacking threats of Germany. We'll get into it later. In goal was Jordan Pickford. Jordan Pickford's probably been England's best player so far. He had his critics before his tournament, but he silenced them all along. And he had another wonderful game in this encounter. Three at the back were Kyle Walker at right centre back, and there's a reason why he plays there. Southgate loves playing Walker at the right centre back because you've seen him play in the Premier League for Manchester City in those areas right in the midfield where he tucks in as a fullback to stop a counter. Pep likes to put him there, and Southgate also believes that he's important. But the other thing is that when Trippier is playing right wing back, Southgate wants Walker to overlap. In that sense, that Trippier is not the most attacking wing back there is. So if the opposition wing back pulls on Trippier, then Walker has the ability to overlap, and then the opposition centre back needs to take a call whether he needs to go out at Walker. Now, at the heart of the defense is John Stones. Harry Maguire's left centre back has the ability to go forward with the ball. He's calm, composed on the ball, gets some leadership quality. Then it's Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice, two holding midfielders. Two midfielders who are strong defensively. Creativity is in their biggest suit, but it's this block which Southgate is very keen on. He wants to keep it defensively solid, and for that, Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice are exactly the kind of midfielders he needs. Right wing back is Kieran Trippier, not the most attacking wing back, but solid defensively again. Keen player on set pieces. Then Luke Shaw is the one who holds the width, and he's the one who will bump forward and he will attract the wing back so that Sterling gets the pocket of spaces. We'll get into that later. Then the three up front, Bukayo Saka, he actually impressed a lot in the match against the Czech Republic, and he got a start today, and rightly so. Did exceptionally well in the first half. He was there out wide holding the width because Trippier isn't the most attacking player, and then eventually he came into the pockets to confuse the centre halves. Then Raheem Sterling, and we'll see why Sterling is so important, why Sterling's been the best player for England so far. He likes to be in this space which I like to call the pockets, just in between the two centre halves, so that a midfielder has to come in or the centre half has to go out of position and block him. So you'll see Sterling has so much space there. There's a back five of Germany, there's plenty of space. Sterling is find himself in between the pockets, in between the lines, and this is where he's most lethal at. And then Harry Kane, he had an interesting start to the tournament. He was the highest goal scorer and the highest assist provider in the Premier League. His future was in a little bit of doubt going into this tournament, and interestingly, he didn't score in the first three group games, and then people were asking, there were questions around him, and because he was pretty much AWOL in these matches. He eventually started dropping deep to get on the ball, and this is where Kane is at its best, and we've seen it this season with Tottenham where his link up is on. You can see Kane drops in, Calvin Phillips looks for a run, on the right side you can't see, but Bukayo Saka would take a run, and that's where Kane is most lethal at, and he's a complete striker in that sense. This was England. Then let's look at Germany. Germany with the same formation, Manuel Neuer at goal. He's the captain. Then Antonio Rudiger, Mats Hummels, and Ginter, the three centre halves. Rudiger has the ability, just like Maguire, to go dribble with the ball inside the opposition half. Hummels is calm, composed on the ball, great with his long balls, and Ginter is just defensively solid. The two midfielder, Goretzka and Kroos. Goretzka had the ability to run in behind the English defence. He was a box-to-box sort of a midfielder in this game. Got a start because of his goal. And you can see Muller attracts John Stones. Goretzka sees that opportunity where there's a space between the two centre backs and he runs for it, and Muller finds him eventually. This was really early in the game, and Declan Rice I think stopped him and he got booked for this. Then Toni Kroos. Toni Kroos played like Toni Kroos plays. He's a maestro in midfield. If you give Toni Kroos enough space and time on the ball, he will hurt you, and that's what England were giving in the first half, and it eventually got sorted. So he'll drop in between the two defenders, the two centre backs, and try to whip long balls in for Timo Werner to run in. You would see a prime example here. England high back line, Toni Kroos between the two centre backs, split the centre back, and then trying to find a run for this time for Joshua Kimmich, who was offside. But this is what Kroos gets to the team. He's the essence of this Germany team. Then the two wing backs, the most creative outlets in the team, which Southgate were wary of going to this match, Joshua Kimmich and Gosens. Kimmich was less aggressive than Gosens while going forward, but he's brilliant on the ball. He'll find himself in areas where he has the ball and he can cross in, and his delivery is exceptional. And these crosses are most of the time for Gosens to head on to. You'll see a few examples where he rushes into the opposition box and tries to get his head on it. This is how they messed Portugal up in the group stage match, and you can see Kimmich with the ball. Gosens is the furthest man forward, tries to get his head on it. And then the three up front: Thomas Muller, Timo Werner, Kai Havertz. A lot of fluidity, a lot of movement between these three. They're not rigid as the England three. Havertz would find himself in spaces, and he would want to drop deep and find balls for Timo Werner. You could see this was a big chance for Timo Werner to score. Werner was through on goal, 1-on-1 with Pickford, and he failed to convert. And Muller, another exploiter of space, loves to pop into areas where there's a lot of space, and then loves to take runs in deep as well. And Timo Werner, he was the one who stretched the England defense. His job was to run in behind the high back line England were trying to deploy in this game. This game was begging for a change in the second half. England controlled most of the game. They had good tempo, they pressed high, but it was begging for somebody to come off the bench and make an impact. And that man is Jack Grealish. So Jack Grealish came on actually for Bukayo Saka. So Grealish went on the left, Sterling went on the right. So this is the first goal. Sterling gets the ball in those pockets. He takes Rudiger with him. There's a lot of space between the centre half and the left wing back Gosens. Sterling finds Kane. Kane combines with Grealish. Grealish attracts the wing back as well as Rudiger, who's out of position, and then suddenly Luke Shaw is free on the left hand side for England. He whips a perfect ball in for Sterling, who actually started this goal to finish it off, and it's 1-0 England. And suddenly the pressure's on Germany. Second goal, at this point Germans are just trying to push men forward. Luke Shaw wins the ball high up the pitch. Then Grealish, Luke Shaw and Kane have outnumbered the Germans. There's 3v2. Grealish has a lot of space in that channel, and when Grealish has the ball, he has the quality to find Kane, and it's Kane's first goal of the tournament, and it's 2-0, and England are through to the quarterfinals of Euro 2020. Now, was it a masterclass or was it just a fluke? The thing is that Southgate did the right thing by adapting his philosophy. He wasn't rigid about his formation. He went to a back three. The formation he deployed helped to negate the attacking emphasis Germany had in the other games. So you can see it was a pretty even game. The stats will tell you the same. The difference was that the English forwards stepped up. Jack Grealish made an impact off the bench. The German substitutes didn't have the same impact. And 2-0. They're looking good. They have Ukraine next up. They're looking good for another semi-final clash. If you liked today's video, please give it a thumbs up. Please also stay tuned. Put the notification bell icon on. I'm trying to analyze as many games as I can in this tournament. And with the crucial stage of the tournament coming up, you wouldn't want to miss it out. Thank you so much, and goodbye.